Hello, hello. Let me check if I'm online. How are you? How's your weekend so far? Okay, now, yes, I'm live. Welcome back to this is Ask Jason Anything. Okay, this happens every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. But I took like a leave last week because I was out and I couldn't make it back. And I was thinking we didn't have a lot of questions last week. So I thought it was okay to actually skip. So I rarely skip, to be frank. I think, yeah, once in a while, maybe once every a few months, I probably would take a break out of it, but it's just 1 week. So, what do we do here is, as usual, okay, I'm here to answer questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So, after 2 weeks, we have accumulated some questions on our YouTube channel. So, if this is the first time you're watching this, if you have any questions regarding Facebook advertising and digital, oh my God, my hair is actually pulled up a little bit. Okay, if you have any questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing, here's what you need to do. Okay, I actually answer questions like this. Okay, if you have any questions, my first recommendation is I would suggest you go to my YouTube channel. Okay, because over there I've posted close to a thousand videos about Facebook advertising, TikTok advertising, YouTube marketing, and stuff. So try to search for an answer on my YouTube channel. So all you need to do is just to go to YouTube and search for Jason Gunn. And if you cannot find anything related to your question, okay, so all you need to do is you can actually post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over and I'll answer it on, like live on Sunday, night. So it's very simple, right? Go to my YouTube channel, look for an answer. If you cannot find it, post it as a comment and come back on next Sunday, the following Sunday, okay, to listen to my answers. But of course, if you're here, if you have time on Sunday, I would definitely love to see you here, joining me live to ask any questions. So if you have any questions, just pop them into the comment. And what I'm going to do is, after this, after I answer all the questions that I captured, I think we have about 7 questions, with not a lot. Okay, so once I finish all the questions over here, and I'll come back to the, question posted on the, on the comment section to go through them. But of course, if you're watching the replay, any question at all, just post it as a comment on any of the videos. But I would love to see as like as specific as it should be, because some questions are very like, what do we call that? Conversational. So it's like you are listening to me, and then I was talking about the whole thing, and out of sudden you have a very quick question, and you just pop it in. Sometimes I may not be able to just connect, like, oh, what this question? What is it all about? We have one example, but luckily I caught it. So I'm going to show you, like, if it's be very specific about the situation that you are facing and your question specifically, so I will be able to quickly jump on it and answer your questions real quick. Okay, so yeah, if you have any of them, if you have the questions, pop them into the chat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up. So it's called Ask Jason Anything. Basically, I answer questions about Facebook advertising, Meta advertising, of course, that's including Instagram and everything. And I do my best to answer digital marketing related questions as well, because I also specialize in email marketing, YouTube marketing. I actually coach businesses in, like building and launching their YouTube channel for better visibility, because YouTube, in fact, if you use it right, it can be a very powerful, what do we call, SEO platform. That's how I get to connect with a lot of businesses from all around the world. It's actually through my YouTube channel. So yeah, any questions about Facebook advertising, TikTok advertising, YouTube marketing, and all that, feel free to pop them. Okay, so the first question we have is coming from user anyway, so it's a long username over there. So this question was posted on my last AMA. So the question was, how much time does it typically take to set up an ad agency account to your business manager? Because you paid for it and it's been 3 to 4 days, it's still not showing in your business manager. Anyone can help. Every time you inquire about it, the person you gave the money say it's still done by the 4th day and still hasn't show up. Did I get scammed in your concern? I am afraid you might get scammed already, because to be frank, you don't need to pay to create an ad account in your business manager. Yeah, it's free. I mean, why would you need to pay to create an ad account? But here's the thing, you're talking about an agency account. agency ad account is not something that you can actually create and attach to your business manager right away like that. Because agency account, as far as I'm aware, okay, it's actually being given. Meaning once you have built your agency to a certain level, meaning like probably you have gone to the premium tier or the batch tier, and then after that you have, you spend really big on on meta advertising to a certain point. Meta will come to you and say that, hey, since you're like this, they probably will want to offer you this agency level of access, which they will give you different set of like, supports and everything. But this is not something that you can actually buy unless you're talking about you rented it. Because I've heard somebody renting an agency account. Because one thing about agency account is, yes, you have better support. You can actually, like quote unquote, not to say 100%, but you get more lenient in terms of like the restrictions and all, in terms of what you can actually run as ads. And of course, you can spend a lot more on an agency account. So there are people who kind of rent it, but I don't think you can actually buy and get someone to create that for you. That's what I think. Yeah. However, having said that, I have not handled any agency account before because I'm an agency. I'm a Meta agent. Meta, like what do we call Meta business partner. But then again, yes, we are recognized as an agency, but I do not have an agency ad account, which like that's another ball game. But if you need my help to look at your situation and probably to give you some recommendation about what situation you're at, like probably you can share with me more about what are you trying to do to see if I may be able to kind of assist you to connect in any way. You can actually scan this QR code. This is not a free thing, as in like you scan this QR code, it will take you to my Fiverr account or Fiverr Geek. So all you need to do is to buy me a mail. It's a very nominal fee. And then we can actually schedule a 30-minute one-on-one discussion to see, like what situation you're facing or what are the real challenge that you're facing right now, as in how do we navigate, how do we move on to the next step and see what else we can do or over there. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I think. Okay, now that's that. But thanks for dropping by. Now the next question, it's not a question, this is coming from Ronaldo. It says, yes, you'll contact me by this week. You just regain full access to your business manager after months of struggles with Meta. Sorry for the delay. It's actually quite interesting. You see, like if you are having some restriction, especially at the business manager level, one thing that is really important is you have to really respond to the whatever request that they're asking you to do, such as like, what do we call that? Such as, what do we call that? Like submitting your documents, getting through that, because there is a limitation as in like like a duration that you need to actually get everything, like submitted and reviewed. Otherwise, the ban will be permanent. So you have to be very careful about this thing. So that's what I think. Yeah. So yes, no problem. Anytime you're ready, Ronaldo, you know where to do, right? I mean, let me flash this up again. So if you have any questions, any one of you who might need really like one-on-one, because I do my best to answer questions over here. I can already see some comments coming in as questions over here. Thank you for joining me, Kenneth and Nassus. I will come back to you in a bit. So, but this is where I would actually be able to answer questions based on whatever I understand. But there are certain situations where we might need to dive into your current situation, as in like we might have to look at your ad account or so-called your business manager's accounts in terms of like, if you're having an account restriction issue, where you're at right now, how do we navigate? So if you need my help, as in one-on-one over here, scan this QR code, buy me a mail, and we can actually schedule a 30-minute discussion to see how we can actually help you move forward from there. Okay, so Ronaldo, I look forward to see you. Then, yeah, I mean, this is exactly the kind of question I was referring to. So Unlimited Ezik was actually asking, what if you exceeded 30 days? I mean, if you are, it's like out of the blue, you see, you get what I mean? This question is kind of like, what do you mean by 30 days? What 30 days? But of course, I know what I was talking about. It's about the account restriction issue. Remember, when you have account restriction, make sure you actually respond to their request in terms of like, if they're asking for your documentation and everything, make sure you submit within 30 days. And yeah, there is a certain limitation, as in like the duration you need to comply and fix everything. Then you'll be able to move forward. I mean, you cannot avoid restriction. All right. I mean, the way I explain it is very simple. I think Facebook is actually, Meta is trying to make sure that everybody who runs ads are real human. That's why they actually kind of like restrict you just to get you to submit your ID to know that you are a real human. So do not afraid about this, but learn how to actually get through that, and like then after that, once we are through that stage, the next thing is we want to build credibility, as in like we want to start doing the right things on meta advertising platforms and everything to make sure that we build that kind of credibility, as in the connection with Meta, so that you get better support moving forward. That's what I think. All right, so yeah, that's that. Then the next one is coming from Max. Okay, so this is about new account banned instantly. So Max is asking, what about trying to create a new personal profile, which you need before you can even think about ads? All right, every time you try to create a Facebook account, it instantly gets suspended and checkpoint. You try private Safari tab, fresh mobile number to create account, and just instantly ban every time. Private Safari shouldn't even leak your information. There aren't any cookies, so how are they detecting me? I mean, sorry, I won't be able to answer this question because I don't work for Meta. I do not know what kind of technology that they are using, but I do believe that there must be some way that actually they can trace and track that you're doing something. So here's what I think, Max. Do not rush into creating a new profile right now, because that's something that is very, very, very sensitive. As in, like, if you try to create a new profile and you want to run ads about it and whatnot, especially you have tried doing it several times, do not do that again, right? So what I would say is, if you want to actually, you remember, the idea here is it's not about account or profile that we are creating. We want to actually get back into running ads. That's the whole idea, because to a lot of countries, if you're not running ads on Meta, you're not running a business at all, right? So the better way to do that is actually borrow someone else's profile, okay, as in like your parents, your sister, your siblings, or whatever, a real human that I mean, the profile from a real human that has been around for a while. I'm not asking you to create a new profile of your dad. That's not going to work anyway. So a profile that has been around for a while, just borrow from them and say, hey, I'm not going to touch whatever personal. I just need your help to borrow me these things so that I can actually create a new business manager and start running ads. Do that. That's what we usually do, right? But even so, let's say if you use your father's account that has been around for like 10 years, right? You use your father's account to create a new business manager, almost instantly, they will actually kind of restrict you and say, okay, now I know you're trying to do this, submit your ID. So yes, that's the step. Once you submit your ID, you probably will get it back within a few days' time, and you start creating the page and run ads. Then on your own, you're right, you go and create your own profile, but not trying to get into the advertising world yet. Warm it up a little bit, like just connecting with friends and whatnot, for at least a month or two. Then at the same time, the business manager and the ad account and all that was created by your dad's account is warming up as well. So both are warm up. So by the time it's about like 2 months down the road, you can actually add yourself back into the business manager as an admin, then everything will be okay after that. Usually this is what we do. I've been helping brands since like almost a year now, since last year. And I've actually gone through like hundreds of cases like this with people from all around the world, and it worked. Okay, so try to do it that way. But of course, Max, if you need more help and say like, okay, now try to actually advise me personally about what I'm actually facing right now and tell me what to do next. You can actually scan this QR code, buy me a mail, and we can spend half an hour to look into your situation. Because frankly speaking, after going through this about like a few hundred cases, and I really think that although there are similarities to it, but there are certain cases that are kind of unique from one to another. So it would be best if I'm able to look into your account quality to understand your situation and to give you more personalized recommendation about what you can do next. That's what I think. Okay, Max, thanks for the question. Then the next one is coming from Mohammed. So it's about sharing custom audience. Okay, now when you are actually creating audiences on Facebook advertising, as in account advertising audiences, because remember we have like safe audiences, which is the one that you save from your settings like detailed targeting and whatnot. And we have custom audiences, we have the lookalike audiences. Now you are not allowed to share shared audiences. Safe audiences, but you can actually share custom audiences and lookalike audiences. But to do that, you need to make sure that you have full access to the business manager or even the ad account that you're having right now. So you probably may not have full access. So there are certain situations that, when it comes to sharing, it's about sharing from one business manager to another business manager. So you may have you may be able to run ads for that, but you don't have full access, as in like you must be able to manage the ad account. So that's what I think. Once you have that, you should be able to do all these things to another business manager, but you have to understand this is really the sharing between two business managers, whereby what we usually do is like, let's say if you're in a group of companies and we want to share some data from subsidiary A to subsidiary B, that's possible. Or all subsidiaries want to share their data back to the headquarter, that's also possible. And you can also share your existing audiences to your agency so that your agency can use their ad account to run ads for you. That is also some situation that you can actually do that. However, in order to do that, you must have account management access to the ad account that you are talking about right now. But yeah, let's try to look into that. If you see you can actually get that, like fixed. Otherwise, try to raise a ticket, because that's not something that I can help. Do not, like buy me a meal and spend 30 minutes with me, because I may not be able to give you recommendation on this thing, because it could be a technical stuff. I would suggest that you actually look for Meta support. That would be actually the better one. But based on my understanding, try to actually get yourself the managed account access to the whole thing. Yeah, that's something that you can actually look into. Okay, all right. So that's coming from Mohammed, and the next one is coming from Rahila Mat. Okay, so Rahil. I mean, I probably just call you that. I hope you don't mind. So you say you have a Facebook ad account in your business manager, and you have a limit of 1 ad account there, and you have wrong time zone and currency chosen, and you can't change. When you try to change, it says to contact support team, so that how can you talk to them? I mean, that's the only way, okay? But here's how it works. It doesn't, yeah, I know it's inconvenient when you have the wrong currency and the wrong time zone, but remember, that's not something that you can change. Yes, you're right. Once you've created it, you are not able to change the currency and the time zone. You have to live with it. But if you want to create a new one, I mean, the only way to actually get through that is to actually create a new one. But the tricky part is you are in a business manager. And business manager has usually, when you have a new business manager, you can only create 1 account. So once you have created 1 account and you start running ads with it, okay, after a while, once it's more stabilized, once Meta trusts you more, you are able to create 1 more, ad account for your business. So I would suggest for now, if the key is about getting your ads up and running right away, don't bother, because if you try to talk to the Meta support as well at this point of time, they will not give you any support, as in like they will not be able to help you, because that's the rule. All right, as a new business manager, you have 1 account, 1 ad account. You have to start running ads. After you build your trust, you're able to create a second one. So I would suggest start running ads anyway, because whether it's in US dollar, ringgit, Sing dollar and all that, they are not going to charge you a dime more anyway. It's just the currency difference. And when it comes to time zone, yes, that's definitely inconvenient, but I think it's still something that we can actually live with. Like now, I'm having clients from like Morocco, like New York, India, like it's all different time zone, right? So I have to when I'm monitoring it at nighttime and daytime, I know that, it's their time and all that. So it's a little bit inconvenient, but it's still all right. So I would say start running ads with that. Okay, and then get through this stage, and then once you are given the slot or permission to create a new one, then of course you can use the new one and abandon the old one. By then everything will be all right. So, but for now, remember, we have to cast the focus to the right place. What we want the ads up and running. I mean, all these other problems are subsidiary, so get through that first. That's what I think. I would recommend that. But of course, if you really cannot live with it, then well, you can try to contact support, but my best bet is, they're not going to give you much help in terms of that. I'm not saying that they're not helpful, but this is not really something that they can actually bypass the system and do something for you. Okay, think about that. All right, thanks for the question. Then the next one is coming from Valency McDonald's. Okay, Valen. So, so it's about active Facebook ads, but not spending. So you say you check Facebook support, then they said you should increase your budget and audience, and you did so. After 24 hours, you check them again. It ended up your account being disabled for no reason. You created another account. Today, publish an ad, still have the same ad active, but not delivering. I mean, first thing first, you click on the top right to check whether the date range that you're selecting is the current one. You might be saying like last month, and of course, last month you didn't have the ads running, so there will be no data showing. So make sure that you switch it to maybe the last 7 days or today, or like the preset date range, to see whether everything is all right with the campaign. Now, the other situation that you might be facing here is maybe there's some settings error that you're not fixing it, so that's why the ads is not running. I've got some client who are like that. I mean, I failed to contact my client for now, so it's been like that for a couple of weeks now. So yeah, I'll definitely try to talk to her again. So yes, it might happen. And of course, there are certain situations where when you have a new account, if you try to spend like $100, for example, a new account will definitely not allow you to spend up to $100 a day. So yeah, there is a threshold implied to your ad account. So you have to make sure that yeah, I mean, that's also something that we cannot do. Once you go through that stage, the threshold will be increased over time and everything will be better for you. So that's something that we have to live with. Just go through that. Do not try to push. Seriously, although we would love to push and to get more money because we know that the whole business is running, but there are certain limitations. But if you really want to push, my best bet is, you can actually consider creating multiple ad accounts with your friends, your team members, and all that. That might help a little because if you really need to spend $1,000 a day, then you probably need help because as a new ad account, you can't do it. So yeah, okay. I hope you answered your question, Valen, and try to figure it out and see whether that works for you. But of course, if you need my help, you can actually scan this QR code, and then we can schedule a 30-minute one-on-one discussion and to look at your situation to probably give you recommendations about what you can do next in terms of like hopefully getting your ads up and running again. Okay. Now let's take a look at some questions. All right. First we have Hadi. What's up? Thanks for joining me. And okay, now and we have Kenneth. Kenneth is a Facebook ad specialist. You feel like your work is more of a trading your time for money. Is there any way you would actually scale your business ads, your Facebook ads work without trading your time for money? Oh, wow. Okay. You mean you're a Facebook ad specialist? Okay, meaning you're actually running ads for your client. So trading your time for money, really? Okay, is there any way you can actually scale your Facebook ads work without trading your time for money? That's a very interesting question. I may not be able to really give you a solid answer, but I can actually share based on my experience. Sometimes it's not really entirely bad trading time for money because that's one way to make sure that we're actually doing the right work and doing the good work that helps really the people. So I guess it's about knowing what you want. If you really want to like scale your time and like scale your business in any way, and you don't want to trade your time for money, one way is you can actually, I don't know, man, if you can actually work with a team. I don't know, but I don't really. To me, is this. I don't really mind trading time for money. Yeah, because to me, my concern is about doing good work. But of course, one way you can actually increase your price. That's what you can do. And of course, you can actually diversify your businesses instead of just doing ads management. You can start doing like maybe you can start teaching, you can start coaching, you can start consulting, which would actually take a little bit more, less of your time, but you can get paid in a different way. Yeah, because that's what I do now. I don't really manage clients right now. I do some on selective basis, but I actually spend more time helping clients from all around the world solving their Facebook advertising problems, coaching them, guiding them to build their framework. And I don't really do the work for them. I only work with them, as in, like we grow as we grow along. Like, yeah, that's how I work with a lot of clients from all around the world. So that's one way. But yeah, I'm not sure I'm entirely in the position to actually share with you about, my ways because I don't really have any solution in terms of like scaling your work for more money for lesser time. Yeah, the only way I can think about is diversifying your services and increasing your price. But of course, we do not do that blindly. It has to be parallel with your value, right? I mean, if people feel that you're worth that much, then of course it's all right. But if you're not there yet, then pushing that may not be a very good idea. That's what I think. All right, Kenneth. Well, thanks for popping by. Thanks for sharing. Okay, and then the next one is coming from Nessus. What's up? Okay, so you say you set up a Facebook with objective of link click to your Shopee store. You're getting a lot of link clicks as shown, but the number of page view in Shopee, the insight doesn't tally. It seems only 20% are actually showing up. Are you doing anything wrong? Okay, now I understand what you're saying because when you are actually driving people to your Shopee store using Facebook ads, if you do not have CPAS, the only way you can do is actually using traffic and go for link click. However, you always have to remember there is I mean there is a friction in between because when people click, first thing first, not all 100% will land on the mobile app because not everybody has the mobile app. And it could be involving, it might be pushing them to download the app and all this kind of thing. So we would we will have a lot of drop off in between from link click to the, like the content view on your Shopee store. So you have to understand that this is normal. But of course, 20%, in my opinion, is actually acceptable. Yes, 20% is acceptable. So yeah, but you have to keep monitoring. Once they go through that, after the 20% landing, how is your conversion coming up from there? So you need to actually have all the numbers in your head, whether are you making money with these ads or not. Otherwise, you probably have to start tweaking, because I do have some clients who are actually, even though she has CPass, they have CPass, but the CPass doesn't work for them, because the way they advertise, it has to be in a more, as in like organic content-ish way, so they need to post a video explaining the product and all that, and from there they get people to click and go to the product, on Shopee. So for that situation, CPass ad setup doesn't work for them, so we opt for that, and it worked really well for them, because as long as we are seeing good return coming in, as in the sales are coming in, that we are actually okay. Yeah, but these are all something that you have to start building the dashboard in your head and start monitoring the outcome of it. So yeah, that's what I think. Okay, Esther, I think it's normal, but of course we need to look at optimization, start monitoring the whole movement, as in the sales and all that. And from there, we optimize one step at a time. But it will be ideal if you get CPass. Try to get that if you can. Otherwise, we would actually lose a lot of information in between. That's what I think. Okay, all right, thanks for joining me. Right, guys, if anyone who needs more help, if you're watching this and you feel that, oh, I have more questions, Jason, and I cannot wait until next Sunday, can I just ask you? Yes, scan this QR code and buy me a mail. Of course, it's not free, but then we are able to spend half an hour together to look at your situation, to answer questions. But I think we have some more questions coming up. Hang on. Okay, so that was Nessus. Now the next one is coming from someone on Facebook. It says, would like to ask about the lead gen video I published the other day. Wonder if that worked for network marketing and insurance agent recruitment. And also what needs to be aware of when writing the ad copy so you won't block the ad. Thanks for the question. Yes, the strategy works for MLM, for network marketing, for recruitment as well. But when you're in this kind of business, remember when you're running ads, you have to, my quick advice is go and type Facebook advertising policy. There will be a whole range of things that you can or cannot do. Okay, for your situation, quick one. Do not promise increment of income. Do not promise any dollar return. Do not promise as like a new business opportunity. You got to be very clear about now, if you're talking about, when it comes to network marketing, try to cut in from the business, as in the product level. That will be a more safer way, because the moment you talk about business opportunity, it's on the gray line. Okay, and of course for the recruitment, saying that I'm recruiting insurance agent. Do not talk about, oh, you're gonna get this lifestyle, drive Lamborghini, what nonsense. It's not gonna work. Facebook is gonna hate that. So when we run ads, the best way to do that right now, most of the time we do that, is say it as it is. As it is. So that Meta would understand what you're trying to talk about, or what you're trying to communicate, or what you're trying to achieve. Then they'll be able to match with the right people for you. Okay, but thanks for watching that video. Thank you. And yeah, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, I think I covered everything. Thank you so much. And yep, that's what we do. That's what I do every Sunday night. I don't think I'm going to skip next week. I'm going to be there. So any questions at all? If you need one personalized one-on-one, use this, scan this QR code, and we can spend half an hour. Otherwise, if you have any questions at all, go to my YouTube channel to search for an answer. Otherwise, if you cannot find, just pop your question or post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos, and I'll actually bring it back and answer questions on the following Sunday. With that, thank you so much. I'll see you next Sunday. Good night. Bye.